We like to dress up for our episodes because why not? Pourquoi pas? And today I decided to wear my Zsa Zsa, and it might get a little hot, so I might take it off, but we're going to start with it.
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous.
Oh, Zsa Zsa might strip a little.
Zsa Zsa might strip a little.
PG level, but it's okay. Zsa,
Welcome.
Shall I get you my silk hanky?
Oh, yes, please. Does it match?
I'm sure it will.
We have royalty today.
Love it.
Real women, real lives, real stories. This is the Ladies in Power podcast. Unfiltered, unscripted, and refreshingly authentic. We're not holding back, and maybe after this, neither will you. Let's go. Okay, welcome to the Ladies in Power podcast, and today my name is Zsa Zsa.
I'm Sandeep, Bhatha.
I'm still Dr. Soraya.
I'm Gurvinder, Dhol.
And we are Ladies in Power just like you.
I used to think I dress up until I saw this thing in Facebook about these older ladies that are dressing up to go to grocery store.
Yes, that's
Did you
awesome.
see? I love that hat on her. And she says, people ask me why I dress up. I don't consider this dress up. This is
awesome.
all the time. And I'm like, damn, lady. Like all the colors and she was just fabulous. Whoever you are, you know who you are. And good for you. It was
Yes.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
have to say, my ladies right here are making me pull out jewelry that I don't wear, hairstyles I never do. So it's inspiring me to, push a little. Like, it's fun.
Yeah,
So fun.
fun.
It's
So
so
fun to dress up.
This is fantastic. And if you're following us on Instagram, please post pictures of yourself. Show us your Zsa Zsa. Show us the jewelry you haven't worn in forever. We got to wear it for each other sometimes, or just for ourselves. I mean, speaking of ourselves, I did take a class about exotic dancing.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, not our topic, however. It was interesting because we were taught that we dance for ourselves. You never dance for your partner. You put the music on that you like. You wear what you like. So you want to feel good, and you move for yourself, and you let them watch.
Wow.
Oh la la! It has
Oh, la.
changed
Ooh,
my
la,
life. My little Zsa Zsa for the day.
It's actually really good. Well, you always like looking at somebody who's dancing by themselves, right?
Yes.
Yes.
If they're
Yes.
truly just doing it on the beach or whatever, there's something
On a pole.
magnificent. Oh, you're on the pole. No, I don't know about that. My husband would probably. But poor guy, I don't know why I picked you out. You're always doing your own thing in your man cave. But I'm sure if somebody is just dancing. One time we were in Mexico and my daughter was just dancing in a corner by herself. She's a really good dancer, and people just gathered to watch. And next thing we know, they were all clapping and throwing money at us. And we're like, yes, we can look at this child. But it's just something magical about all of this.
It is. You watching somebody be so
So
free,
free,
so
so
liberated.
free.
It's contagious.
Talking about free, I think our topic today is about addiction.
Mhm.
What does addiction mean to you? And can addiction be only referred to things such as drugs or alcohol? Or can we be addicted to food, emotions, fashion, phone, shopping,
Instagram.
anything?
Scrolling. Yeah, there's a lot of addiction out there.
And I think the best explanation I heard is anything that's out of balance is addiction. So, for example, it's okay to be shopping once a week, for example, and buy a bag. Okay, some people say that's crazy. Once a month. But if you're buying a bag every hour, right? The comparison. So that's crazy. And a lot of people are addicted to bad news. And I know so because my husband is addicted to it.
Poor Alex.
Like, poor Alex, his dirty laundry, but he knows it. I'm going to tell the whole world. Hours. And the scary thing is he puts it in twice the speed. so that he can get more of that bad news. So it's not just like, Donald Trump effed up here or did this. It's like, and I'm like, what did the guy just say? And it's like bad news on steroids.
Oh, dear.
And he does that hours. And he knows, he says, I know it's bad. I just can't stop it. He's in the bathroom listening to the same old news. He's at the market. He's now doing this when we're having dinner with friends.
Uh-oh.
So that's an addiction.
Uh-oh.
What do you guys think of that? Or do you think somebody just said, hey, it's healthy. He's keeping up with the news. He's keeping up with the current affairs of United States because, United States sneezes and we catch a cold kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Meeka.
Okay, wine.
You think wine is addictive?
Wine is an addiction. And women bond with wine. A lot of women. I used to. And I have friends now that I don't get to see because they're getting together and having wine. And it's not that I don't want to have wine. It's just that I don't want it to be about wine. And I didn't notice until I decided I give myself 30 days every year where I don't touch a drink just to make sure that I don't have an addiction. Because I grew up with a lot of addiction in my life and around me. And I'm just aware of it. And now I'm like noticing, oh my goodness, all these conversations in my life. It's not everywhere. However, I was a part of these conversations where wine was the glue that brought us all together. And it's like, what can I replace that with? Let's replace it with
juice.
Yeah, juice, yes, and the addiction. Because I believe we replace one addiction with another. If we stop shopping for bags, we start shopping for shoes. And then it's
guilty as
lipstick.
charged. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So some people will give up alcohol or cigarettes and eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Vape
or
whatever.
vape. Yeah, there's one addiction for another. So it's great to be aware when we have addictive. Do you believe in addictive personalities?
That's a good question, right?
An example of that. I think there's
sex addiction in Hollywood. I never understood it until I heard it. Like, when they say poor guy is addicted to sex, like, is there such a thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is. Women as well.
So what happens if they don't have it like all the time? They start to sweat and like what happens? What does that even mean?
I've never known anyone personally that I'm aware of has a sex addiction.
But how do you know it's real?
I think
because addiction is real.
Because they can't control themselves. They probably seek it out. So I think what addiction is when you can't control, it's automatic. And you don't realize you're doing it until you're really into it. And so one of the reasons why our society is so addicted is because of the phone, too. Because we get that dopamine hit over and over and over again. And it's fulfilling us. And because our dopamine levels were this.
Okay.
10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. And this was
the norm.
This was the norm. Now it's like this.
This lower or
it's lower now. It's lower now.
Meaning it
takes higher.
Yeah,
higher.
It takes more.
It takes more for us to be satisfied.
Yes,
right. And so one of the things that with meditation, with EFT, and with Qigong exercises, what I encourage everyone to do is to get back into this calm state. So when your brain is seeking dopamine, like a dopamine hit through alcohol, a dopamine hit through food, a dopamine hit through scrolling, that you're able to see it. And one of the things that we can do is serve. When we serve, our serotonin levels go up. And then we get, our serotonin levels go up.
When we serve.
When we serve.
Like contribution.
When we serve others.
Yeah. Yes.
So when we go
volunteer. The secret to living is giving.
In any form, volunteering in any form, raises our serotonin levels and we feel good and we don't want the dopamine hit anymore.
So what's the difference between serotonin and dopamine?
Different neurotransmitters.
So do both of us make us happy?
Yes.
So both make us happy. So what you're saying is dopamine is like the fast get happy, and serotonin is through service and slower.
Yes.
And we rather get that because it lasts probably
It lasts longer. And we feel better about ourselves when we go serve others. And we call it seva, to go serve others. And so it's a part of it's ingrained into us to go be of service to others.
When you say we, is it you, yourself, and I?
Sorry, personality strongly.
That's so
sorry. I'm Sikh, and so in our community, in our Sikh community, we have a word, seva, and it means to go serve.
Oh,
go
beautiful.
serve others.
That's beautiful. I think Buddhists have that, and they call it karma, but it's called working for others or service karma. Same thing. It could be just washing the street or picking up the garbage or something.
Yeah.
So everything that the prophets or the sages said is so that to help you balance yourself that way. I mean, my big thing with addiction, and I share that anywhere I go, is the Kool-Aid day that they sold to our kids that pot is not addictive.
Oh my goodness.
That it doesn't harm you.
Of course
that
it does.
It's just such a mild, gentle, natural, herbal way. And in the past 10 years, I would say, in my dental practice, I see 90% of the young people coming to us being addicted to pot. And let me tell you, when you're addicted to pot, you got and you know what? Do you know how I know you're addicted to pot? Because I'm talking to you and you're kind of talking like this.
Oh my gosh.
And you're 20 years old. Like, where is that energy? And the question would be, hey, what do you want to be in the future? And it's like, I don't know, man, whatever. And it's sad to see that our young people, that I have more energy than a 20-year-old.
It's wrong.
So all the research has shown that, look, pot is addictive. It does affect your brain cells, especially if young people start smoking it at a young age, which they are at 15, 14, 15.
Brain development.
Brain development stops. And then, this is the funny thing. They take pot because they're anxious. It helps them for being anxious. But over time, stopping it and taking it makes them anxious. So because they kill the receptors in your brains, it actually backfires. So now they're anxious all the time. They're taking more pot to get away from that anxiousness, and it does the reverse. So they're more anxious. So please, if you're a parent and you have small children, please know this is a lie that's been sold to our community. Pot is addictive, it is dangerous, and it does lead to other drug addictions. Once pot no longer helps your child, your spouse, your whoever, they'll go to stronger stuff, whatever that is, heroin or hash or whatever it is that they go to. And it's never good. And I remember I was coming from a dental conference. This was about 10 years ago. And I was in Portland, Oregon. And the taxi driver was driving me, and he was sharing that they had just legalized pot in Washington, just our neighbor. And I went, oh, how's that going for you? And he says, it's horrible. He said, we're having more accidents. People are kind of losing their drive. Our young people are being affected. And I'm like, so why would you tolerate it? Why would the government? And he's like, well, because it is so lucrative for the government. I mean, the government is making so much money out of this. And I said, well, thank God we don't have pot legalization in Canada. And then I think that came like a couple of years later. So, I mean, okay, so we replaced drinking, which is wine, with drugs, which is worse. Is it even helping us? Because at the end of the day, it's negative feedback, right?
It's to loop.
It's a loop.
Yeah.
So you drug yourself to feel better, and then you only feel better for a short period of time. You need more drugs to get the same effect. And after a while, the drug won't even make that effect.
They'll find something else.
They'll find something else to do. Yeah.
I would like to know what it is that they're trying to push down. Drink away, eat away, feed themselves. That's what I want to know. I'm like, what is it that you are suppressing?
That's a good
Because
question.
because that's what addiction's doing. That's the reason why we're placing something in our body, either a toxin, either shopping, either scrolling, or whatever, is because we are lacking something. We are missing something in our life.
Numbing, looking
And
to numb something.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if we're drinking, we're drinking it down, so you don't have to deal with it. If food is your addiction, you're feeding yourself, you're feeding your emotions, and you're stuffing them.
Yeah.
And you're really, really stuffing them down. So when I have clients come in, we try to get to the source. We try to get to the root. Let's really dig down and find out what it is that happened when you were a child.
Yeah, because I know I eat, and I eat when I'm upset or nervous. Like if I'm happy and everything is going well, I don't think so much about food. But if something has come up, when you're eating, you're telling yourself, I'm doing something, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with the emotion or tackle the problem right now, because right now I'm eating, even though you're completely full.
I know.
So yeah.
And culturally,
We
and culturally, I think many of our moms are like, here, let me make you something to make you feel better.
you make it. Yeah,
So-
that's right.
That's the other aspect of it. Like we were given food. So if
Not
something was
Meeka.
going on.
Because she said she didn't grow up in the same.
No, not the same. That's okay. That's okay. It's very common though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eat
So-
this, eat this, eat this. Yeah.
Here, let me make something for you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not sad. You're just hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
I hear it a
I
lot.
used to ask that question actually a lot of clients, as a dietitian, the question of, tell me about your relationship with food. And people would say, relationship with food? I just want to lose 10 pounds. Like, what are you talking about? And when we start really kind of probing a little bit more, relationship to food, like, yeah, tell me what made you happy? Like, when were you eating? Well, like I remember as a kid, I did really well on the report card. So my parents would say, let's go celebrate with ice cream, or you've been a really good kid today, or you did great in that baseball game. We're going to go grab a bite to eat. And so, you were just hearing these connected messages for reward to that. Or like you said, maybe a parent's language of love or a caregiver's language of love was, let me make you something fresh. Like, let me make you something good to eat. And heaven forbid, if I ever went to my grandparents' house on a full stomach, like my grandmother would be offended.
Yes.
And she would say, don't come to my house full. Don't come here full. You're going to eat something. And I'm like, okay, I'm so stuffed. But yes, I'll take the, beautifully grease laden paratha, like stuffed and to make her happy. So then it was a matter of stuffing down your own, what do I want in the scenario to please someone else? And so that's a part of it. So there's the relationship to food, and the answers that would come up would be, well, I eat when I'm bored. I eat when I'm lonely. I eat to reward myself. I eat, like, you name it, there's a reason for it. There's so many reasons for it. So what you said, I think it's so beautiful that we are running away from things. We're suppressing things. We don't want to face necessarily those feelings. And when you talk about the dopamine hit and how quickly we can just, like, if I'm bored, I don't need to be bored anymore. Because as soon as I might think I'm bored, I can grab my phone and entertain myself.
Another addiction. Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm never bored. I just allow myself to be in stillness.
Beautiful.
Because I've got a friend here who'll always keep me company, and great company, because it's the algorithm that things
That's
that I do.
right.
And as soon as I think, it's a bit much, oh gosh, that's so interesting. What's going on here? And all of a sudden more of that is attracted. So it almost like it's reading you and pulling you in, and you have to be, I don't know. The question I have is, in the midst of an addiction, how do you know you're addicted? Because let's say if it's food, or it's wine, you're so used to those actions. We're just in the mode of default or automatic, and you're just going to the fridge. Like, I'm bored in my head. I'm not going to say I'm bored. I'm just going to say, I feel like some chips, and off I go. And I'm not really stopping to think, are you hungry?
Yeah.
What's your emotional state right now? We just grab, and we eat the chips mindlessly, and all of a sudden we're just doing that on repeat. And does that become an addiction, or how do we classify that as an addiction? I don't know, but it's really, I think, tough for most of us to face sometimes the inner world inside of us and really feel
It is.
the emotions we're running from.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
And that's exactly it.
Mhm.
What emotions are we running from? What do we not want to face? What do we not want to see? And then the question arises, why?
Well, there's also the flip side. What emotion are you chasing? Because birthdays, we're fed chocolate, cake, celebration, joy. You're the spotlight. You're getting attention. You're getting love. So we're eating sweets, cake, chocolate because it is connected to that feeling of being loved and celebrated. So if we're feeling lonely, we're eating to feel less lonely. Oh, I feel that celebration from my birthday as I'm eating this cake. And so it's not only what are we avoiding, it's also what are we chasing? What are we moving towards? What is it, the emotion that we want to feel?
Yeah, and in my experience, people that are addicted know that they are addicted.
Do they?
Yeah,
Do they though?
they do. Like, I mean, my patients, they say, please don't tell my parents.
Yeah.
I just can't quit. And I'll be like, why? And they're like, if I don't take it, I'm going to be so anxious.
Right.
And what really alarmed me is that my kids, when they were little, they went to Kikara, and which is a martial arts.
Okay.
It's a form of martial arts. And the teacher, and this is a shout out to Mustafa Sabeti, he came from Iran, 25-year-old, a champion in Iran, didn't know any English. He opened his own place here, and my kids were one of his first patients. Everybody is a patient. Everybody is a patient. Clients, and he taught them Kikara. He's wonderful, and he's done a lot for the community. And he was just in the papers because he's bringing martial arts as a true form of exercise and making Canada acknowledge it and support it as a sport. So he put thousands of hours into this to make this happen. And we were talking about addiction and what's happening in Canada versus what's happening in Iran. And I said, I'm really sad to hear that young people in Iran are getting addicted because of poverty. During the time of Shah, we didn't see as much poverty. What is Shah? Shah of Iran. Before the revolution, Iranians didn't have a religious leaders.
Okay.
We had a king, and his name was Shah Pahlavi, Shah of Pahlavi.
History lesson?
Yeah, history lesson.
Thank you.
And it was during his time, that's when I was really little. You never saw homeless, you never saw addiction, you never saw people like slouched over. And now you do. In Iran, the addiction has just shot up.
I have a question about that. Purpose. Purpose and addiction go hand in hand.
Yes.
People are lacking purpose. We're being told, we'll give you a check in the mail. You don't need to do this.
Yes.
And we're being enabled and disabled at the same time. And when you lack purpose, you start to become miserable, much like if you're not in service. Whether you're in service for the community for a job, a passion, a career, or you're in service to your family as a cook or a cleaner or a babysitter, or you're in service to your community, you have to be in service, like you said. There's purpose there.
Yes.
There's purpose. You see the janitor at a school that's been there for 30 years. He makes minimum wage or whatever, and he's got the biggest smile on his face. Why? Because he takes a dirty class and makes it clean and sees all the joy of the kids in the morning. There's a lack of purpose that leads to addiction. It leads when you're feeling out of control. Your job, your stress, you're not able to get ahead, inflation, whatever the cause may be. You're not able to communicate effectively with your parents. Your parents are both working. You're raising yourself. There's a disconnect, and you're looking to
find that love that you hear everybody else has, and your parents are not capable because they're working like crazy just to keep a roof on your head.
Yeah.
And then your parents are turning to addiction because they're not coping, and they're so feel ridden with guilt and shame because they're working so much and they're not there for their children. And there's cycles everywhere.
Yeah.
The addiction is really, it's coming in to numb whatever it is you're feeling, to serve you through that feeling. And I think that our society is catering to it. It's creating it, not only catering to it by making it legal, it's creating it by enabling, by sending people checks, by saying, oh, you can't afford the rent. Well, don't worry. We're going to send you a check to help you. And no whatever the word is, disrespect to anybody. I was homeless and I grew up with nothing for many years. So I've been there. It's just that I was in a time where I saw opportunity and seized it, versus now I don't know that people are seeing opportunity. The media is so full of doom and gloom, and there's nowhere to go, and oh, you should stay home and hide and be in fear, and and fear sells. News doesn't sell without fear. So even if they have the most glorious contribution product in the history of the world or project, and everything is la rainbows and kittens, wonderful. If there's one piece of bad news, everyone is going to focus on it, because innately the 2 million-year-old brain is attracted to fear in order to know what's up so we can protect ourselves. So they sell that fear. They sell the news, the Trump, all that stuff, because it gets eyeballs on it, and then they sell commercials, and it's a big world that is seeking, in my opinion, power and control. And to do that, they have to numb us, disable us, and disempower us. And we're allowing it to happen.
And the new generation is in trouble if they pick that path, because look, they're happy sitting at home. And that's what COVID proved. Sit at home.
And the government's making it okay.
Yeah,
there's so many people under 30 still living at home. Oh, that's because the prices are so high. Oh, that's because of inflation. No, it's because you're not getting out and doing what you need to do. You get me started on this.
It is. And it is a huge problem. And young people realize, look, maybe the prices of home is $1 million now, and it was 100,000 when we were in our 20s. But movies were $1.50, and the highest salary you got was $2 an hour. Like, everything is relative.
We can't hire. We have a construction company, and we have spent so much money attracting good people to work with us. We'll pay you great money. You're part of a company that's growing, that's doing good work, that has raving reviews all over the province, maybe the city, and yet finding good people that are that want to take pride in their work, that are going to show up on time, that are going to be not high first thing in the morning, or not go get high on their lunch break, no matter how wonderful of a boss my husband is. Doesn't matter.
100%. Yeah. She's right. They're in their cars like smoking, and you're like, it's illegal to come to work intoxicated. Like, go home. And it's not just your industry.
No, it's everywhere. Yours too.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Mine, I think, Gurvinder's husband, we were talking, they have their dental office, and also Sandeep's husband, another dentist. Like, we just can't find people to man the front. We have one person show up in the morning and they quit by lunchtime.
Or we'll man the front.
Or or man the front. Or we just want somebody standing in front.
Yeah.
It's really an epidemic, and you are right. It's what the government or what the society is making okay. Like, when we were young, just sitting at home wasn't okay.
It wasn't okay. Get outside and get dirty. I don't care. Just get out there.
Go outside. Now everything is okay, and it's okay to be on the couch, and it's okay. But they all want to make the big bucks, to have the car, to have the house, doing zero work for it. Like, there was a book, 4-Hour Week. Do you guys
4-Hour Work Week.
Yes.
Yeah. Great book. Yeah.
Great book. Like Keith Cunningham says, it was shit. It was selling an idea that is totally not doable. Look, I want that guy to call me. The 4-hour-a-week guy.
Work
So
week. Yeah.
whatever,
it's a
4
great book,
hours
yeah.
a week. And Keith Cunningham says,
Context, ladies, context.
Yeah, it was just like, it's a Kool-Aid. You cannot get rich to working 4 hours unless you're Jeff Bezos or you're Tesla, and not all of us are. Yeah.
Well, so you bring up something really good by saying you can't do that. That's not true. And I want, because honestly,
You can't.
This is, if I may, part of the problem is that people are bursting people's bubbles.
Okay, fine.
If somebody else can do it, then somebody else can do it. So we need to keep that dream possible. We need to empower our children and our youth that it is possible with discipline, hard work, 20 years, a vision, bringing the right team to fruition, making a difference, adding value to the world, giving the world something that it needs and that it's willing to pay for, and you will have your 4-hour work week. It's possible. It's out of context that it's a pipe dream that, oh yeah, let me read the book and I'm going to make it happen. However, I do want people to recognize that it's possible. It's possible to come from nothing and create success. It's possible to be a success story without graduating university. It's possible to have your mother's love, even if you're not putting the piece of paper on the wall that she can brag about to all of her friends. Everything is possible. But people are not believing that things are possible anymore. And if you don't have possible, you don't have hope. You don't have purpose, and you numb.
Is that how you feel, that people are numb?
I feel that people don't want to get quiet.
Face the truth.
Yes. I feel people don't want to get quiet. They would rather be in chaos.
Yeah.
Because the world's in a bit of a chaos right now, and people want to stay there. And I think there's so much fear going, what am I going to find out if I go quiet?
Yeah.
And you find out it's actually
I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. They won't love me.
There's so much in that garden. When we start digging those weeds out, there's so much clarity and love and connectedness that comes with it, that comes with calm. And yes, we're going to have to dig. And sometimes we're not going to be able to pull all the weeds out. But when we pull one thing out, you're creating this beautiful, beautiful boundary around you, saying, okay, this is my sacred space. And the more we pull out, the sacred space gets bigger. And then you're like, I love this. All that beautiful rain's coming in. The sun is shining on me. I'm actually blooming. I'm growing. I'm flourishing. It's scary. It is scary to go into calm and into that quiet, but trust me, when you do, it's glorious. It is so glorious. And to come back to what you were saying about fear-mongering, we have this thing within ourselves called the negativity bias. We want to know what's going on that's negative. Our brains are prone
wired.
To that.
Yep.
And so for us to be positive, it takes work. It takes work. And so people, we have to work at it. It is work. It truly is. But the other side is glorious.
Then you can be Zsa Zsa with your girls.
Look at this.
Oh.
Yeah. No, but you're right. It is work. And a lot of young people I know don't want to be silent. I don't know many young people that would, like my friends complain. They go, I called you, you didn't pick up. I go, yeah, I didn't have my phone. I can be away from my phone for hours, days.
Me too.
Months.
I get in trouble all the time.
I just look for it if I need to contact somebody. But like some of the young people I know carry it, sleep with it, get up with it, have it next to their bed. They can't be without it.
Yeah.
And to your point, it's a constant, like, I'm bored, let me see. And now they figure out what you like and they give you more and more.
Hooked you right in.
They hooked you right in. Or it could be something like your knee arthritis. And you talk about that and you go, looking for a knee doctor? And you're like,
They're listening to your head now.
It's crazy. They
does feel like that.
I'm walking around. There's no. So now I shut that phone off, and I shut my computer off, and I shut the camera on the computer off because they're listening.
Paranoia.
This is the Matrix.
The new addiction.
The Matrix, man. They're everywhere. But how would they know, Meeka? How would they know what you are talking about if they're not?
They are listening. 100% they're listening. And it's not only your phone. It's satellites. It's everywhere. Just get used to it and be grateful for it because there's no. If we choose to get frustrated with it, we're going to go crazy. I think it's just surrender. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know.
I'm just going to share something that I found out that just blew my mind. Like I went, no effing way. So we were looking for a company to come in and help us get more new patients because we've hired a new doctor and she has to be busy.
Yeah.
So one of the companies that came and talked with us, they're like, okay, we can put this software on your computer. And when patients call in, they don't even know, but reading the dilation of their eyes, the program is going to know what they like, what they don't like. So what more we advertise. I just went, leave. There's the door. Walk away. Like, and he goes, Dr. Soraya, everybody is doing
on
that.
the phone?
On everything. Like when you go on a website, say you're looking for a dress, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking
Tony
for
Robbins
a dress.
talked about it.
And you don't even have to speak. You just kind of, your eyes will dilate because you're all hormonally excited about the high heel shoes. The bags. And then you're like, next thing you know, 50 of the same shoes pop out.
Holy shit.
The computer is reading your emotions, your serotonin level, the dilation of your eyes, the temperature.
We're not doing that. We're
not doing
I
that.
don't even know about
If we were, we would have a ton more followers.
We need your organic reach, ladies. Yeah, we need your help.
But that is how, when you go to a website, they give you more of what you want. I don't know. Apparently, it's legal.
I wish you hadn't shared that.
I wish I hadn't taken the red pill. And now I know.
Oh my God.
Oh, from the
Matrix.
So, okay, you got to be a Matrix fan. The Neo, the one, the guy who's going to save the universe, is given a choice between a blue pill and a red pill.
Okay.
If he takes the blue pill, he goes back to ignorance. He doesn't remember anything. He chooses to stay happy. Yeah. And if he takes the red pill, they'll show him the truth and he has to deal with it.
Wow.
So he takes the red pill. He takes the red.
What would you take?
At this stage of my life, red without a doubt.
You would? You'd want to know?
The blue. I take the freaking blue.
I think I'm feeling blue right now. I'm feeling blue.
I would do red. I can't do.
Good for you, girls. Now, for really good Matrix fans, I really hope I didn't get the color of those pills wrong, but I'm sure red was the reality and blue is going back to what it was.
He has a choice between two colors.
Yes.
He chooses the one that reveals the truth.
Yeah, and the most magnificent trilogy of Matrix unravels itself. And
we're going to see a spike in people watching The Matrix because of all of our fans and followers.
It's going to be hey, Keanu. Always, man. Oh, my God. Feel the love.
Oh, my
Keanu,
God.
we love you. You're the best human being. So, yeah, I mean, everything is now working against us to flourish that addiction, to help us be addicted, whether it's clothing or...
Is it against us, really?
Yeah, it is, Meeka.
Some of it is not.
Okay, tell me how so.
Because their technology will help to diagnose.
Yeah, I guess so.
Technology can help to coach. Technology can help with surgeries. Technology can help with bridging gaps in businesses. And there's a lot the technology does for the positive. So just to mention that. And we're not victims. Like, we're not victims. I'm big on, I'm not a victim. I choose in or out. I'm in control. Nobody's going to tell me to do this or that unless I have a gun to my head. And even then, I'm still in control because I get to choose. Do I want to surrender to this person or do I want to fight? I'm still in control. We're always in control. It's easy to say we're a victim to XYZ. However, unless we are under the influence of a psychotic drug or episode, then we're not in control. However, I think those are very few, far in between. We're making choices. We're making choices to be this way, that way, to think about things a certain way. We're making choices to want to drown our sorrows in an addiction. We're making choices to want to belong, which is why often we will wear certain things or shop for certain things or eat a certain way, is because and we've said it before, the desire is to want to belong. And if we don't belong, if we're not enough, then we won't be loved. And the biggest fear is to not be loved. So I think a lot of, thank you, sisterhood, a lot of the addiction comes from that sense of wanting to belong and wanting to be loved. And if we're not, we numb that horrible pain, that sadness of not being enough.
So I just want to learn from Sandeep because I'm the foodie. So when your clients come to you and ask that about food, what do you say? You were just sharing it. Like, what emotion comes out, or are you still hungry? I say to myself, no, I know I'm not hungry, but I need to eat.
It's a lot of probing. It's a lot of questioning. It's a lot of pausing, right? So we're just in that mode of, like, I always think it's like the robot. We're just robot mode. Whatever habits we develop one day, we're just going to carry on. You know, we don't think that I always grab this food, or do I always have to have popcorn when I watch a movie? Do I have to? Do I always have to have popcorn and that chocolate bar? Do we have to? Is popcorn, why is popcorn associated with a movie?
I don't know.
Right? So these are just things that we just do. Marketing. Oh, yeah. But we do them, and when you become aware, and I'll speak for myself. So when I became aware that my eating was related to chasing love, feeling loved, because, you know, my grandmother, my mom, both, just their language of love is fresh food. And it's a cultural thing. And it's a cultural thing even in Canada, like Western culture. We gather around food. Heaven forbid we're going to have a gathering and someone not offer to bring hot dogs. Yeah. Or even if we don't have anything, we just have water, you know, like that's.
I won't go. That sucks. That gathering sucks.
But there is a lot of pressure to be around food for celebrations, for grievance, whatever it is. We're really a food culture. We're foodies. Like, was that word ever a word?
Yeah.
Like, it's a new word.
It's a new word. So there's foodies that are just all about the food, which is a beautiful passion to follow. But there's no right and wrong. There's no one answer that fits all. But I just think the more we become aware of our own why, then you can have a choice. Do I want to continue this path of every time I feel bored or every time I want to feel loved, I'm going to go have that particular food? Or can I say, well, how else do I feel loved? How else do I show myself self-love? Maybe you can make a list of non-food related ways that you may substitute that. If you want to, it's your choice. But so that's maybe how I might approach that with someone, is really explore the why of, first of all, their food choice. Because, you know, I say this and people will say, well, what do I eat to lose 10 pounds? And honestly, I'll say to them, you know exactly what to eat for losing 10 pounds. You do know. Well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, should you eat a hamburger with French fries, or should you have, lots of vegetables and fruit and like a protein? Well, yeah, the fruit and vegetables. Like, we all know. It's not like we don't know. The question just becomes, why is one the one that I'm moving towards? With awareness, perhaps without awareness.
Yeah.
So it's not, there's no one,
It's true,
there's
right?
no one answer for all, for sure. Each person really has to, but it's so beautiful to have another person kind of be a guide for you, or even a reflection. I don't even think of myself as a teacher or a guide. I'm just there as a mirror for someone to just talk it out, hear themselves, see themselves, understand themselves. And if I can ask questions that will help them go deeper, then I feel there's a service there. There's a service there.
And that goes back to what we said in another episode, intuition, right?
Yeah.
You just said it. You know what to do to lose the 10 pounds, right? You know it. It's intuitive.
It's intuitive. You know who's the best model and the best example is a baby and toddler.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If you're feeding a 9-month-old food, first of all, when that baby's hungry,
they'll let you know.
We're going to let you know. There's no like, okay, I'm getting hungry. I'll give you 10 minutes. No, they're like, and so you start feeding them and they're just like taking it all in. And eventually they come to a point where they're playing around with it. It's sitting in their mouth. And we teach, this is intuitive eating. So they're just following their intuitive guide, their inner cues for hunger and fullness. They're not like, I need to make mom happy and I'll have another 10 bites. Or they're not like, I'm not looking so good. I don't like the folds on my 9-month-old body. So let me, she just really so attuned to what their needs are. Yeah. And they follow it. I'm like, just follow a toddler. Toddlers, and then when they're full, good luck putting a spoonful of food in their mouth. It's a hard no. But somewhere along the way, we have forgotten how to trust our internal cues. We have gotten away from just saying, yes, I'm hungry. We don't even check in sometimes. I don't know about you, but it's 9 o'clock. I should probably eat something.
Yeah.
As opposed to, hungry.
It's indoctrinated at school.
3 meals a day.
You eat before class. You eat at 12 when the bell goes off. You're back in your seat by 1. Right. That's it. You're indoctrinated from a very young age.
Yeah. And think about if you finish that, you'll get this.
That's right.
There's that, right? We're just taking people away from their...
Don't leave the table until you're done.
That's right.
Doesn't matter if you're full.
Right.
I worked all day for this. Yeah. Eat it.
Eat it. Or you have to have the broccoli before you'll get some ice cream. We give food that kind of, just
reward.
Yeah. So it's
conditioning.
It's such a complex thing, but
awareness, so fabulous.
Yeah. And so that's what it is, I think. And my question that keeps coming up in my mind throughout this discussion is, for someone that right now is really struggling with, they're in a habit or they're in an addiction that they really just, maybe that's all they saw growing up. That's all they saw their parents modeling. If it was stress or if it was some sort of event going on, they just saw how their parent coped and maybe didn't have a lot of other influences in their life. And that's all they know what to do. How can they expand that? Like, what's the way that someone can expand that perspective and say, oh, no, there is a different way? What's the first step? How do you get there?
I grew up in addiction.
Right.
Sorry, what did you say, Meeka?
I grew up with parents addicted, right?
Yeah.
But were you addicted at any time?
No, but I think the question was, how do you not? Like, how do you...
What might be the first step in the awareness? Or how can someone step out of that scenario and say, there's more to life than what I know? There's a way out of this habit that maybe I realize is not healthy for me, but I don't really know, can I get out of it? Is this the way? Like, if you just don't know about the possibilities, how would that first step occur?
Are you saying the person is addicted?
The person, yeah.
So if I'm addicted, how would I work out of my addiction not knowing any other way?
That's right.
I would say go into nature. Go be with nature. Go, and it's free. This is what I like.
Yeah.
Go take a walk by the ocean if you're by an ocean. Go outside and give yourself 5 minutes a day. Give yourself 10 minutes a day. Keep increasing it. Just be outside. Go breathe fresh air.
Yeah.
Go into a garden. Go be with the flowers. Go be with the plants. Like, get outside in nature, because the earth is like, oh my God, you're here. I'm so glad you've come. And let me show you what I have. So I think what I love about being outside in nature is it's free. And you have access to air. So you're going to breathe in all that great clean oxygen. And you're going to inhale all of that air. And you're going to be walking. Just walk, take in the air, be outside, and take everything in. And give yourself 5 minutes a day. Increase it up to 10. And I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how freeing it is to do this one thing. And I know you enjoy taking walks, 100%.
I think it's, that might be an option. The thing that comes up for me is, because addiction in my experience is numbing pain. And when you're taking a time out away from everything, you're listening then to the pain, and it's not easy for people.
No, it's
Gurvinder.
definitely not.
It's not easy. When people are in addiction, they don't want to be addicted. They're suffering and they're struggling and they're losing family and they're losing friends and they're losing their confidence and they're losing their self-worth. And I think the first step is acknowledging themselves. Number one, celebrate that they're noticing.
Yeah.
And
Yes, 100%.
it just like come from a place where you're like, oh my gosh, is that me? Are they talking to me right now? If you're even asking the question, celebrate that awareness and just be with that for a little while. Be with that. Be in the celebration every time you notice something. Be in the celebration, because we're so quick to shame ourselves. I'm doing this again. Fuck, I know this is wrong. This is wrong. This is bad. I'm ruining my life. I'm ruining their life. I'm no good. I can't stop this. I this. And this. The stories that come through the head are so horrible and scary and mean to ourselves. We need to come from the celebration that we're noticing is step one. And then get yourself some support. Get yourself some support with someone that knows what you're going through, that can relate to you without judging you. Because you're judging yourself enough already. You don't need to be around people that are going to judge you. And then you have a conversation and you try different methods. Then I believe it's go for a walk, go get into nature, go to a clinic, call an anonymous number, go see an AA or whatever it is that you're negotiating a food addiction, and start to explore possibilities. And one of the things is, if something doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. But you are worth fighting for. So don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. You can give up on one theory or one method, but don't give up on you. Keep going. If something doesn't work, if it works for everybody you know, but it's not working for you, that's okay. We're not all the same. Accept that and find something else. So that's what I would say about that.
I think that's really important to hear for me, because in our culture, for example, say if my son was addicted or if my daughter was addicted, the family immediately shames them and shames themselves. So, whether it's alcohol addiction, I know a lot of my patients in the Indian community have husbands that are addicted to alcohol. And it's a very big thing for the family to even acknowledge the fact that they're struggling with that. And then we put that extra shame on them that, you should be quitting. They're already feeling bad. So coming that from you was really amazing, Meeka, because we don't even realize we're doing it. But it's shameful to the family, because how could I raise a son that smokes or drinks or drugs up or isn't going to school or not even following whatever the traditions are? But now I have to answer to my friends. The kid is already feeling that pressure. So it all adds up, and they lose their mind, and it really ends up badly for the family. So,
and it all comes from judgment.
Yeah.
It's judgment. It's not accepting someone and what they're going through.
True.
Let's get curious without the judgment. Let's get curious about what's going on. Let's get curious with ourselves and why we feel the need to change them and have an opinion and have things look a certain way. There's such a bigger picture. And in that curiosity comes a freedom to express.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to, if you look fat in a dress, you're asking somebody, do I look fat in this dress? You're either A, looking for validation that yes, you look fat so you can shame yourself some more and be right about it. Or you're looking for somebody else to say something so you can be mad at them. It's everything is going to have a consequence. And at the end of the day, we're all wanting to be enough so that we can be loved. And that's it. It comes down to that. So what is the person not getting? I'm comparing myself to my sister. I'm comparing myself to my father. I'm comparing myself to my aunt. I'm comparing myself to where I should be at this age based on the statistics that the internet says so. I'm comparing myself to my mother's other friend's son and where they are and where I should be, and I'm not good enough. And then we have what Tony Robbins calls the emotional home, where we have a home, a place that we go to more often than others. And that's a safety, even if it's a negative place, a shame place, an angry place, a depressed place. It's still familiar, therefore it's comfortable, therefore it's home. And so we can go into a happy place or a confidence, and then we get into that, ooh, this is unfamiliar. I'm in unfamiliar territory. Let me go back to that shame where at least I know I can be right. At least I know that I'm safe there because that's what everybody expects of me anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I expect of me anyway. So it's a very complex topic. It's very big when it comes to addiction and what's driving it. And it's everything gets solved with love.
And I guess that
really
was
does.
I guess that was the message there. One, recognize that your loved one or yourself is going through it. Give yourself some grace, and the people that are around that person, give them as much love and support as they can to be seen, to be heard, and shaming them is not going to help it, which was huge for me, and that's something new I learned today.
And I really believe, and I'm sure if I ask all of us, we all believe that there's always a way out.
Yes.
There is always going to be someone willing to listen to you, to hear you, to look at you, to see you, to validate you with love.
Yes.
And it's just, if, like you said, one doesn't work, go to someone else. If that person doesn't work, go to a third person. But keep going, because there is going to be not just one, but many people that are there to support you out of this, place that yourself, you're ready to shift out of. Right? So always, always, always know it's never hopeless. Never, ever, ever hopeless.
So important.
Yeah.
So
sometimes
important.
we lose hope. And people lose hope in the midst of that space, like you said, that's just, the comfortable place, the familiar place, but it's filled with the shame, guilt, negativity. And it's sometimes really hard to believe that there's a path out of that. It's a really dark tunnel.
Yeah.
And just to know that it's a tunnel. So there is another opening, and it could be much, much different than where you're at right now. But I think we agree on that.
Yeah, that tunnel just brought me to the light at the end of the tunnel. And we have a saying in Persian, and I'm going to say it. پایان شب سیاه سپید است در ناامیدی بسی امید است. The end of every dark night. At the end of every hopelessness, there is hope. And the end of every dark night leads to dawn. So that is so true, Sandeep. And I just had to think about that for all the times that as parents, we did it the wrong way, or we shamed the kid because we thought if we shame them, then it's going to put them on the same path, or I'm so upset with you or disappointed in you. And this is just a brand new way for me to look at it and saying, hey, they're already struggling. They already know what they did wrong. So maybe I should just, be that one loving force that they're okay to be with. And that
the words
was
right out
huge,
of my mouth.
right?
Oh, you did that, except the beautiful poetic part. I wouldn't have known. That's so gorgeous.
Yeah,
But I do think also that, yes, if you have an awareness that you can be a light, look for the people around you where you might be able to go up and say, I really love the way you spoke about this, or I love the way you paid attention to that animal, or I love the way that you stop and smell the roses. We can notice, we can look for positive things in every interaction we encounter, and who knows the impact of that. We don't know what far-reaching impact. Maybe that was the one little interaction that turned somebody's world around and made them feel, wow, I'm not alone.
I don't have to jump off this bridge.
I don't have to jump off this bridge.
We just don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We just don't know. So when you don't hold back is what I'm saying. Like, if we see something positive in someone else, let's all agree and unite on spreading it. Just whatever you see in someone positive, say it. Don't hold back. What do they say? Something about a gift or poetic leader? Isn't there something about?
Rumi probably says something.
I think so.
That is not coming to mind right now. Yeah, but appreciating
Because
each
Rumi's
other.
in your heart, not your mind.
That's so true. That's so true. That was really an amazing lesson for me just now, after all these years, for us to click it in, because it's the carrot versus the stick. And in my household and my culture, it was always the stick. You know, if you don't do it right, you're shaming the family, or you're being a disgrace, or whatever it is. So you got your own issues. And I never actually translated that to how I treat my children. So it was like, shame on you. You know, the first thing that came out of your mind or your mouth, you know, you should have known better, or you should have acted better. But I'm sure they knew, and they felt bad inside to begin with.
For those that don't know the carrot or the stick.
Oh, yeah. So do you not know? So there is two ways to motivate anyone, whether in the world of business, your family, and that is that if you want your donkey to go, either you hold the carrot in front of it so it goes because it wants to be praised and it wants the prize, or you just hit it with a stick, which is the punishment, which is the the Persian way. A lot of times, like all the Persians call it, how dare you? But, it's like the negative connotation. It's like if you want to reward yourself, you can say, I'm so disappointed. We didn't make gold this month. You guys are all so lazy and we're never going to get there. That's the stick. And then the carrot would be, hey, guys, we did our best. We didn't quite hit the mark yet, but hey, I tell you what, if we all get our goal, why don't we all go for a nice cup of coffee together and celebrate? That's the carrot.
Yeah. Not cake?
You can get cake. You can all go get cake.
We might have had some lemon cake with icing.
We might have, just for lunch, because we were very good girls.
Maybe I needed a little love.
I actually really also like Gurvinder's point of view. I did.
No, it's not why I'm laughing.
Gurvinder has had a good point. Being in nature is so healing. And that would be, as a mom, the thing I would say to the kids, you go be in nature, or you go be in silence, or you go be in whatever. But I guess some addictions go further than that, right? And if they're shameful, like, for example, hitting a car and...
What's shameful?
To me, shameful is like doing something that causes your parents embarrassment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can I dig a little?
Yeah. Like, that's what it would mean to me. Like,
So you're making it about you, not about your child. Not you, but then the parents making it about themselves and not about the health of their child at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, then maybe it's the parent
Meeka.
that needs to walk in the forest to release the blame game.
Okay, so let me give you a scenario. Say you buy your kid a nice car, and it's a new car, and you give it to them for their 14th birthday or whenever they get their learner's license, and they get drunk, they go out there and they bash the car. What would you say to that?
Thank God you're alive.
What would you say to that?
First thing, yes, they're alive, but boy, there would be consequences.
Yeah. And what consequences would be that there?
Let's find what it is that you're trying to stuff down by drinking and thinking that it's okay to get behind a car. So I started doing tutorials with the kids. I'm like,
Curiosity.
I'm like, instead of saying, oh my goodness, you guys didn't do this, I'm like, you know what? We need to do a tutorial. We need to do a tutorial, and we need to relearn how to do this thing. And so it's just a new way of saying, I'm going to teach you again. So I would pose something as tutorials, and let's get back to finding out
why they did it in the first.
And to look within myself, because it's if if my child is doing something, I need to look within me and find out where there is disconnect. What is it that I'm placing on them? And there is a connection. So
What's your rule?
I always look within me. I'm like, what is it that I need to do differently? That I need to change to make them feel safe enough to always want to come to me. I'm always looking within me. And a lot of the stuff that goes on isn't just from our lives right now. It's from generations.
Yeah.
We have generations and generations and generations of trauma. Like if we look at certain communities around the world, even here in Canada, a lot of people with the First Nations, the current youngsters are not all, did not do a lot of the stuff that
Their parents did.
their parents did. But they're behaving like they have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Whole
a lot
society is treating them like they have.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
And
society.
So that it's a generational thing that caused by society, and society can't make up their mind whether something is true or not true, which adds to the chaos that
But
they're
it's
not even
ridiculous,
existing.
guys.
So this is a whole other topic.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You can't be. My kids can't do dentistry just because I have the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't get translated to someone else.
Right.
It's so yes, I think you're saying what you're saying to your children because you also have that background, Gurvinder. You're trained as a therapist. You're trained to think like that. Whereas when I sit with my group of friends and I am hearing the gossip, it would be something like, well, did you hear Meeka's friend? She never finished high school. So shameful for the family. So shameful for the family. And that is so much in the culture. Or they also, and what did your son graduate? Oh, as a doctor. Well, that's marvelous. So the person whose son graduated as a plumber just shrinks away. You know, Meeka, I think so much of it is also cultural and it may not be a big deal with the Canadians, you know.
It's not the Canadians. I'm going to stop you right there.
But
because it's not the Canadians. Canadians represent 219 nationalities. So it's not the Canadians and it's not the Caucasians because you're Caucasian too. So
we're confused as to what I am.
You're confused.
So I am very confused because I thought I was white until my kids told me I wasn't. But also, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you've ever sat down and or it could be with a doctor's at a doctor's meeting, you know, so-and-so is taking whatever. Oh, gosh, that's horrible. Their poor family.
But you're falling victim to their judgment. It's just their opinion. And like assholes and belly buttons, we all have them. It doesn't mean that you need to believe what they believe. Do you think, listen, I've had people say to me, you should never tell anybody that you quit school. Why not?
Did you quit school? No, I'm just kidding.
I quit high school when I was 14 years old because shit was hitting the fan at home.
Okay.
And I was bullied horribly and couldn't go to school anymore. That's my story. But it was shit not going to school too. So I went back to school and then I quit again because shit hit the fan at home and it was awful and I needed to get out. And I needed to get a job and I needed to pay rent. So am I proud of that? Yes. I am. You show me a 17, 18, 19, 20, or 30-year-old right now that has the ovaries to be able to do that. I am so proud of it. And you know what? My mom is proud of me because she created a resourceful, resilient, driven, confident leader. The opposite of courage is not cowardice. It's conformity. And I don't conform, and I'm proud of it. Okay. And I would never ask somebody else's kid to conform.
I'm just playing the advocate. But what if you hadn't become the woman you are today and you were at the corner of Hastings
I can't play
Street?
the game what if. I'm here right now.
I'm saying, what if? Would your mother be just as proud if you were in Hastings
I can't
Street?
answer that.
Well, I'm telling you, not many
But my
moms
mother
would
doesn't
be.
have control over that. My mother doesn't have control over that. I left at 12 years old. I lived in a group home. I slept on the street. My mother doesn't have control over that.
Fair enough. And that's where
my mother has to trust that she did her job when she had me.
Mm-hmm.
When she was in control of my decisions, she has to trust that she gave me all the tools that I would need to get out of any hole. And was it easy for her? No, I'm sure it wasn't. At the end of the day, I'm not controllable. I'm not a remote control vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I am my own self with my own life, and I'm going to live the way that I see best for me and go through the mistakes that I need to go through, because that's the resistance is what creates the resilience. Confidence is earned through failure. Confidence is earned through screw-ups and the willingness to be shamed and bashed and bullied and all those things. We have to go through that. We want to protect our loved ones from pain, but it's the pain that gives us growth. And we're there to have the boundaries, the bouncers, so to speak. We're allowed to hike, and at the very top, they've got it fenced off, because when it becomes a point where we could die, they fence it. But they give us a lot of freedom to get lost in the forest, to fall down, to run out of water, to need a coat because they start seeing snow if you hike. But they give us space to experience. So, I think releasing, there's a few things that come to mind, and my story is so different, guys, not than you maybe, but than each lady here. We all have very different stories. That's what brings us together. And what I'm saying isn't necessarily the way or the right way. It's just the way that I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's different. And when we try to control things, that's when it all goes sideways. And I think that was the greatest gift I was ever given, was I was never put in a box. I was applauded for my courage. I was applauded for it. And maybe that was my parents' way of not shaming themselves for all their screw-ups, was choosing the other side. We're so proud of her. No matter what happens, she's going to make it. We're so proud of her. You'll be the best bartender the city's ever had. My dad said that to me when I was 19 years old bartending. If you're choosing to be a bartender for the rest of your life, you'll be the best one the city's ever had. So I was, it's just a different take.
Yeah.
We don't know what the result is going to be. We can't play the game what if, because some people are given absolutely everything and they end up with nothing.
Yeah.
Just do the best you can do and surrender to. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I speak out of turn, excuse me. I am.
No, you have a really good point, Meeka. And I tell you one thing, not being a parent, or not have experienced being a parent. Before I was a parent, let's say, I had very clear ideas how everything was going to turn out, how they're all going to obey me, how they're all going to eat well, how they're all going to wear the perfect stuff. And you're right. You cannot control somebody else. They are their own people. And again, it goes back to struggling between what you are told as a community, in a community, even my own mom, constantly, you should be talking the kids this, the kids shouldn't be left alone. It's your job as a mother to guide them, to show them the way. It's never like leave them be and let them flourish. That's not the advice of my mom to me. It's like, you're not doing a good job as a mother. Your job should be to put them in a box. Exactly opposite of what you experienced. And a lot of my patients that are from East Indian community, when I talk to them, I have never heard, oh, I let them be what they want to in the older generation. I'm just hearing it from these two as a younger. Everybody else who's in my generation, I remember one of my patients told me, my kid was great at basketball. He could have been the best he could have been in NBA, but he's taking his specialty in neuroscience. And I went, good for you. He goes, I made that happen. Because I told him, you can never play ball. That's never going to pay for your, for your lifestyle. You want a good wife? That is what is in here. So hearing this is so totally different than hearing let them be, because you were never in a box. But that is how you train an elephant. From a very young age, they put them in chain. And then when they open it, they don't walk because they are convinced that they're still chained.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So for us, we're not being a good mother. We're not being a good provider, a leader, a guide. I just heard it like 2 hours ago from my mom. You got to rein the kids in. You got to tell them what it's like. Poetry is not going to pay for her meals. It's got to be. So it's very different. Don't think that every story like yours was a success story. And nobody wants to see their children drugged and in a corner of Hastings and say, woo, I did my best. It's not anybody's dream. And in our community and the people that I deal with, I walk, my patients, everything I hear is success is measured by how good of a parent you are is how well your children are doing. And how well your children is doing is how stable they are and what they're earning and all of that.
Only you can decide what success is.
And today, going back to our topic of addiction is probably why you see more addiction in a very restrictive community, because there isn't that freedom for them to express themselves, to be themselves. And we're just learning that. I mean, these two they're much younger than me, and to listen to them, I'm learning all the time. Because that wasn't how I was raised, and shaming us and telling us that it was worse to shame your mom and dad than to do anything else. Like, I would never want to be told that they were disappointed in me, that word. You did something that disappointed. So it's something it's very, very hard to outgrow, and you can't feel it because you never had it. You never had that expectation put on you. So how would you know how that feels?
I dealt with rejection in a different way.
Rejection is not the same.
It is because you're wanting to belong. You're wanting to belong.
Yeah, I guess it
and
is.
Not be rejected by your mom.
Yeah, that's
You're wanting
true.
to not be rejected by your community. You don't want your children to be rejected by your community. You want them to conform. You want them to do what you did, and you want your mom to love you.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're doing whatever you can possibly do so that your mom says that you're a great daughter. The thing is that you need to believe it without your mom's permission. You need to look at the gorgeous children that you've raised and say, fuck, I did a great job. These kids are extraordinary. They're compassionate, they're loving, they're creative, they're smart, they're motivated to go to school, get educations. They've got the courage to do something different. They know what they want. They know how to say no to me. I taught them that.
That's what Sandeep was saying, that for the kids to say no to us takes a lot of courage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
You did a great job. You did an amazing job. It just depends on who you ask. And you're asking somebody who's been in a box themselves.
All their life.
And that's it. So you're not going to get, when you squeeze an orange, what do you get?
Orange.
Doesn't matter what color the orange is. Doesn't matter, an orange gives you orange juice.
Mm-hmm.
So your mom's going to give you orange juice no matter what way you squeeze her.
And let's not squeeze her too hard. The poor lady is in her 90s. So
But everybody loves juice. Anyway, that's a little off.
I just want to say I admire you both on how you navigated the conversation very respectfully and honestly. And it's just such an honor to witness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And beautiful. I think both of you have such beautiful hearts. And the way you've discussed something quite different. Each of you have had a really different experience, but yet here we are able to share it in this really sacred space.
And it's
what we
good
set
to
up to
hear.
do.
Yeah.
You guys really held space for each other. It
magical. Like, seriously, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your vulnerability and your courage.
Yeah, guys, I think if you're not honest, you're not going to achieve, you're not going to be able to get to where you want to be, right?
Yeah.
If it's not gray, why call it any other, it is or it isn't. And it's something that as I say, I always struggle with. And it's always good to hear there is another way of looking at it.
Yeah.
There is another way.
Both of you willing to be vulnerable and courageous in this moment, real time. This isn't something we're talking about off camera. This is in the moment. And that takes tremendous courage.
Wait, we're still recording? No.
Yeah.
We have been.
But I just feel like I've just expanded just by the interaction right now because of the courage to, in the moment, just share the struggle. And I mean, I feel so emboldened to share a struggle, in any other conversation because my friend has done it. My friend has done it. So thank you both, really. Thank you both. Yeah.
Well, is that time now? Are we allowed to blow a kiss and call it a day?
Imagine we almost ended the podcast halfway through. That never would have happened.
That's true.
Thank you for holding the space for us to explore those emotions. And
yeah, for sure. Well, that was us. That was addiction. And until next time.
See you next time.
The views shared on this podcast reflect our personal experiences and opinions. This content is not a substitute for professional advice. Please consult a qualified expert for any medical, legal, or mental health concern. If this conversation spoke to you, please follow the Ladies in Power podcast and leave us a review. Your voice helps more people find this sisterhood and these conversations. Together we rise. And remember, your voice matters here.